everybody. Welcome back live at Drew's House, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you're all doing well out there. It is a gorgeous afternoon, actually. A lot of these like kind of late summer days have been really nice, which I always appreciate. So good to have you on board here on our first show of the week. So we appreciate you. We are here Tuesdays and Thursdays. Maeve Power producing the show. Ryan Rothberg's in the house. Sarah Hayden, the boss, our small but mighty team here in Newburyport. Thanks for having you. And thanks to all our TV friends as well on the simulcast here for NCM Hub. The superintendent of schools here in Newburyport, Sean Gallagher, is in the house. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. Been a little while.
I know.
How are things?
You know, I thought you broke up with me. So.
I had like everybody. I think I had everybody else from the school in already, though. If it means anything, we've hit the schools pretty hard. I got to meet your who'd I meet? I met your new athletic director. Your principal was in.
Yeah. Andy Wolf.
Yeah. Your vice principal even came in for the first time.
Yeah.
So we've been good. I got to get some of these student athletes on too. I know we do a lot of the sports and any students really if they're making news, but I meet some of the kids here as we go. But I've done pretty well with the Newburyport.
You've taken care of us. You know.
Last but not least, you.
Right.
How's the school year been so far from your perspective?
Yeah, I think it's going great. You know, it's every year. This is my 8th year going in as superintendent. So.
Is that right? I remember when you were hired.
I know. Who is this guy? So.
That means I've been here a while. Okay.
Yeah, right. No, it's I'll tell you, in Newburyport, our teachers and support staff, they do a lot of PD over the summer. It's just amazing how many of the staff really concentrate on their education and actually doing better performance. And so we had over 200 teachers throughout the summer, more training, more technology training. Our principals and administrators, they're veteran staff. So for opening day, it's good to have a veteran team along with an incredible staff. The first few days went very well, transitioned, and now we're like off and running.
Awesome.
So yeah.
I'm talking to you here as we've crossed the halfway point of September already. Things move quickly. I mean, do you guys even feel like it's like the beginning of school anymore, or is it like feet off and running already?
We're already singing the holiday music. So we're already in December. No,
oh man, you just gave me that just hit kind of hard right there.
Yeah, right. No, it's I think like once there's. For us as administrators, from the building level to the school level, district level, it's a lot of the preparation over the summertime. So it's we don't have those summers off, so to speak.
Yeah, everybody thinks everybody's got the summer break, right? Yeah.
I don't know many educators that take summers off, but
sure,
especially for the administration. So there's a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. So that first week, after the first day, it's almost like a relief. It's like like game day and so right now, as I said, we're 2 weeks in, and it's the system's kind of running itself right now with a lot of the preparation that went ahead of time.
Yeah, it's probably teachers, that's administrators, and that's students finding their footing, right?
Yeah, and the students have been great. We've really prided ourselves on student voice, student leadership. So, at the middle school and at the high school, part of opening day and working with, the freshmen or working with the 6th graders coming in. A lot of our student leaders are part of that, which really makes it nice too.
That is nice, and you have I've heard through the grapevine this senior class is fantastic, like all the other past ones, right?
Yeah, and I think it's year after year. I think every senior class, I think they understand the importance of like setting the example for everyone, and sometimes they don't realize it as seniors, but the little ones, those elementary students, are looking up to them all the time. And so I think the seniors and our student leaders, I think, take that with pride in the sense of it's not only all about themselves, but they're like part of a bigger, larger community. So.
Yeah, and you don't want to be the senior class that disappoints from the senior class before, right? They kind of build off each other. And,
exactly.
So that's very good.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It is. I've heard a lot of good things about. Actually, it is there. I think there is something to that building off. It's almost like when you have a good college football program that's good every year. It's like it's because you want to keep coming and be a part of it, right?
Exactly. And I think it's since I've been here and working with our principals. like student voice is really important to us. And student voice isn't just, hey, do a survey, what do you think? It's actually bringing the students to the table and assisting us with, either policy decisions or decisions.
Yeah.
So they are really invested. Our student body is, I think, really invested in the schools and the community, which I think also adds to that, leading by example type of thing.
And I think really when you talk, it's important too, because you can hear teachers and talk to you all day long, but it does mean something more when it comes from one of your peers. And
Right.
granted, there is a big difference. I always laugh at that difference. I was thinking about it because I was looking at some of the size differences on one of your fields recently. But a senior in high school really is it's an adult in many ways.
Yeah.
Where the freshmen in some, it varies of course, but the freshmen in many ways they're just out of middle school.
Right,
It's
exactly.
that I always find that discrepancy to be very striking sometimes when it's there. Right?
Yeah, no, it's and I think we've all been through it. Even we can flash back when we were freshmen in high school, and you're going exactly how you put it. There's adults in my class.
Yes, but those are good people to
Right.
listen to, right? They want to be
Exactly.
heard, and it's probably a good not test, but a good tutorial for college and life, really,
Yeah,
when you can have
exactly.
discussions with other adults.
Yeah.
I always respected those professors and teachers that were just they treated you like a normal person.
Yeah.
It was you could actually have a conversation, a real life conversation, and I don't know, you kind of remember those things later in life.
Yeah.
That meant a
And I
lot
think
to me.
that's I agree 100%. And I think that's the masterful teacher that can really in the classroom stay neutral, but allow the students, I guess, to develop their own views, their own opinions, and really encourage that. And I agree. I think those teachers leave pretty powerful impacts on us.
Superintendent of Newburyport Schools, Sean Gallagher, in the house here joining us. It is a very, I'm in the news business. I am tired after the last month or so.
Yeah.
The news cycle it's been busy, and there's stuff every day, it seems, not necessarily good. And I just wonder, what's the I imagine it's one of the battles schools always have to face, right? Is kids bringing real world stuff into the classroom and what to let go, what to talk about, what not to talk about. I remember, we just had September 11th. I will always remember the name of the teacher that tried to ignore it and didn't let us talk about it in class. And I was like, what was she thinking? Right.
Yeah.
I was like, everybody, all the other classrooms were talking about it. For some reason, she didn't. I always remember her name because I was just, all people wanted to do was figure out what was going on outside the windows. What is that a balance that you guys still fight today, I imagine?
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it a battle. I consider it, part of our culture. Like if there is something socially that's happening that's not only impacting kids but society or adults in general, I think we do take time out and to process with the students, allowing the students to process different things that happen in society, especially today's day and age. I don't think you can shut that down. I think for us it's creating that safe environment where students feel safe and can express their views, but also utilize in a constructive dialogue way where everyone's view may be different. But I think since COVID and all the things that we had to deal with for the past 8 years, I think it's an important aspect of preparing our students for the real world.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily ignore what's happening outside, especially if it's impacting our society. And then I think we have skilled teachers and administrators that can take these different issues, take some time out, like you said, and allow kids to process of what's happening.
It must be hard, though. I mean, I remember, I'm 20 years removed from high school, but the world has changed so much in that 20 years that whether it be social media life or whatever. But kids, you see adults not acting like adults in the real world.
Right.
Never mind expecting kids to do it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think when we're looking at influences on students, and we can jump to the video games, to cell phones, to social media, but the number one impact on children are the adults that are around them, including parents, siblings. And I think we don't ever want to lose sight of that as a parent or as an older brother, older sister, we have the biggest influence on the kids every day when you're in the house.
No doubt. You guys made the moves on the cell phone. Speaking of social media and stuff this year, how's that going so far? So good.
It's going pretty good since I'm not in high school, so that's a good thing for me.
True. Yeah, I'm sure you hear all about it, right?
No, I also that goes back, and I'm sure Mr. Wolf talked about his whole process there, but really allowing the students. We brought in community members, we brought in parents, we brought in the students themselves, and really developed a constructive dialogue around all of the different issues around cell phones. And I really believe with the collaborative approach that we've taken, especially with the students also leading a lot of those conversations, like we came for a policy that I think is really going to benefit Newburyport. I'm not sure what other school systems are doing, but this feels pretty good for us right now. Right now it seems to be going pretty well. We're going to have check-ins and kind of reevaluate, where we're at in the process. But I think where we started to where we got to, I think we're in a good place.
Cool. We've had quite the great stretch of weather here. Is there any focus issues with kids with these first days of school where it's like first week? It's like I know there's sports and stuff, and a lot of those are outside, so you're outside plenty and all that stuff. But I'm just thinking the weather's been beautiful. Newburyport's such a great place to be. I mean,
I think there's always those challenges in a classroom. If I go back to when I was teaching,
I was going to say back
kids
to 20
looking
years
out the window.
Yeah, and you.
Right.
All right. That seems like an obvious one. We'll just take that one and move that one away. Some fun stuff. You will be calling the football game Friday night. Thank you for doing it for the station. We appreciate that. You got some broadcasting background.
Yeah, I did. I coached football, many years when I was teaching and coaching, when I was in Beverly and also in Salem. And then for years, for 104.9 North Shore football, we did that broadcast thing for, I want to say at least, 12 to 15 years. So I've been I'll probably have to, a little rusty. But I think, especially sports, I really believe on the North Shore, the Northeast Conference, the Cape Ann League, this whole eastern side of the state is just, we got a great sports tradition, great sports history here. So I love, doing the broadcast. I love, being part of the Cape Ann League, and obviously I try not to be as biased to Newburyport when we're going live. Yeah. But I'll do my best. But I am looking forward to helping out, and I love high school sports.
Well, I will tell you, it's funny you say that too, not being biased, because those other schools, those other cities, those other towns do listen.
Yes.
Because you probably know I did the opening night game at the high school, and one of the those rosters, it's like you're not studying them all week. You can't. It's not like the pros where they have
right.
So there's a one star wide receiver who's making plays, and his parents were listening in the stands, and I had the name wrong. Just I think I was saying the common spelling, and it's pronounced differently. Just my luck. There were two brothers of the same name, so I had to hit it doubly as hard. But she was lovely. She was nice enough to knock on the door at halftime. She waited till halftime. I was like, you don't have to wait if that ever happens. Barge in. They want to know. Because the kid was making plays all over the place for Masco.
Broadcasting nightmare, right? Exactly. And you have the wrong pronunciation, and/or you have the old roster, and you're calling out, this freshman is, but he had a number change.
Yeah,
it's
wrong number.
A senior, and
wrong number is terrible.
So I'll do my best in getting ready for that.
They were pretty sharp with everything else, but so she was very nice. She came in today. Thank you so much, and I think you got to know how to roll with it. Thanks for listening, right? We appreciate you.
Exactly.
But yes, and my grandfather, I remember back in the day, he always used to. He kind of got to the age where it was a struggle for him to get to all the games. He used to love sitting in his chair and listening to the radio. And so that is a big thing. You're right. I feel like that is a little special around here.
It definitely is special, especially tradition of Newburyport and some of these other schools. Like I said, in the Cape Ann and the Northeast Conference. Playing football for well over 100 years.
Yeah.
So these communities and the former alum, they just really pride themselves. And if you can do a broadcast like this or anything, you're going to have a lot of people listening that you may not think are listening.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Newburyport pride around football and the other sport teams here.
And it's actually a good radio rule for all you young broadcasters. But I learned that at Bryant University when a friend of mine was doing a 2 a.m. show and didn't think anybody was awake, and we went on and did inappropriate subjects, and they were no longer there the next day. The teacher came in and said, by the way, number one rule, always remember this, there is always somebody listening. And and that's what we all took out of that freshman year or whatever. But
that's awesome.
I'm sure they ended up okay. But yeah, it was not a great week for us at the Bryant University radio station. I remember that. I know you're not wicked tied to the football team. You got a million responsibilities on your plate, but I think that Masco team might end up being one of the best teams in the state. And
from what I hear, that coach coming into the preseason and this season, he feels really strong that they're going to be extremely competitive in the playoffs and possibly make a Super Bowl run.
You have a new coach at Newburyport. You got a whole group of kids, excitement for a new season and all that. Like, I mean,
great.
You just trust all those guys though because that can be a tough first game. Like you're coming out and
it's hard, yeah.
That's not how you want it to go.
No, right.
Even though it's sometimes you just run into a juggernaut. But.
Exactly, and you know what? And when you're a younger team and you're taking on like a powerhouse like Masco. When you break down the films and things like that, you're going to be able to pull out some positive things out of that, and you kind of build upon that. Especially with it's a long season, and then at the end there's the new playoff system that's been in existence for a while. But back in the day, you'd have to win your conference to go to the playoffs. So now, especially with a young team that we have in Newburyport, they'll have time to build, and you kind of want to like plan on peaking at the right time, like right before the playoffs.
Yep.
And I've seen that with teams in the past. Maybe a slow start, but towards the middle of the season or towards the end, they're finishing strong. So
the new playoff system that can now make you go to Martha's Vineyard if you have to.
That's a whole nother show for me because I'm more of the traditional, the old school.
Enough said. Yep,
Enough said.
I hear you. Let's have fun calling the game Friday night. We look forward to hearing you here. Should be a fun one there. I think it's a 6:30 kickoff if I remember correctly. I think are they all 6:30.
Yeah.
Very nice. You know what I was fascinated to learn? One of your administration officials here told me this. Over the course of all this, there's like 75% of Newburyport students, the student body, is involved in either sports or like some sort of after-school activity. Yeah, it feels like a pretty big number to me.
It's like around 600 out of almost 800 kids that are involved in either sports or extracurriculars, and it's significant, and it's that's why we say like for the past I think 3 years we've won that Division III best athletic program.
Sure.
And we have such I think such quality, not only the student athletes, because if you're here in the summertime, you see all of our student athletes working out, training. It's like it never shuts down. So they put the time and effort in the off season, which is incredible. And then I would also want to credit our coaching staff. A lot of the coaches are also teachers in the system, which I really believe benefits the entire program because if you're a coach, a high school coach, it's more than just the sport. You're really trying to teach life lessons. And what better way to do that is if you're in the school throughout the day, one of your student athletes is struggling or needs some support, you're always there to give them that support. So that's really a close family type of program.
That big number, I think you're right. You just touched on it. Does say a lot about the kids and their eagerness to be a part of the Newburyport tradition, but it does say a lot about your coaches too that you have as a whole because and teachers. But if a student athlete does not like their teacher, does not like their coach, and if the mass groups of people don't want to play for this person, or maybe the classroom experience hasn't been enjoyable, you are going to lose people. You're going to lose athletes, and it says a lot that I think you guys have kept that number so high. It's an impressive number.
Yeah, and I would agree, and that's why I think for all of our coaches, it's more than just coaching the sport. You know what I mean? It's really about working with our student athletes, about those life lessons, and really trying to apply them, throughout their playing career. And then also like Stephanie Phillips, our whole music and theater department, that's also a thriving department. And what I always would say to the parents, and when I was a principal and now as a superintendent, is if your child's going home every day at 3 o'clock, they're really not taking advantage of all the multiple opportunities that we have. Not just sports, not just theater, I mean, we have a tech club. We have other clubs that students get involved in. Chess club, believe it or not,
Yeah.
is like one of the biggest clubs that we have.
I would so take that
Yeah.
now as an adult.
Yeah, right.
It would not have been cool to me then.
They have a
but-
big tournament, and it draws. I think we have like over 50 players, and then it's packed of
I
the
bet.
students watching chess.
I
And
bet.
it's pretty awesome.
I love like just I'll even like watch chess up in Maine. Like there's a good chess battle.
Right.
It's intense. Like it's a great thing to learn. I'm upset I didn't learn it at a younger age
yeah.
because it's like it's
We
just,
didn't graduate to chess. We still play checkers. So.
there you go. Yeah, I can play checkers with the best of them.
That's the JV
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, it's true, man. Like it's just like playing the piano. If you could start early and learn those
Yeah.
things that are gonna always be there for you, it's
Exactly.
great. Playing any instrument is better when you're young, right?
Sure.
You gave a little sneak peek. Oh, and one other thing on the athletics before I move away. Like a good number of that. Like I remember when I first started here, Newburyport did not have a boys tennis team. I'm a tennis guy. I'm going out to the tennis courts right after this.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
That was like Newburyport doesn't have boys
Right.
tennis? Like
Right.
what?
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. And now you guys, I think, have like
Yeah.
35, 40
Yeah.
kids turning out or
Yeah,
something.
We brought in boys tennis, and the other thing that we've done since we've been here is girls ice hockey too. Another sport
Yeah.
that we used to be like co-op and all
Sure.
of that type, but now we have enough student athletes that we can have our own team.
Is it just Newburyport kids now?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's all
wow.
Newburyport,
Because I
yeah.
do remember the co-op. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. Yeah. So you guys are just building and building in that
Yeah.
regard. All right. You mentioned, again, Sean Gallagher here, the superintendent of the Newburyport school system here. You made a little hint, a little joke about winter earlier. I imagine that is is it a pressure-packed job having to make that call? Like, you're the guy, right?
Yeah, I am the guy.
Yeah. You're the kid that kids used to wake up and listen for Gary LaPierre and see what their superintendent
Yeah, you
did.
wait down the bottom of the screen.
And
yeah.
TVs, all
right,
that stuff. It's a little different now. I mean, I think you have more.
I think in third grade, when I found out the superintendent canceled school, I go, I want that job.
that was it.
That was it. Cancel school.
You knew you had a love for it right there. So walk me through that process. Like, what do you like? Does a storm come in?
Yeah.
It's
Exhausting. It's an exhausting process.
Let me stop you right there. It's exhausting.
It is.
All right, walk me through it a little bit.
Well, it all depends, and if you're getting the blizzard where you're going to get
Yeah.
12 to 20 inches the night before, those are the nice ones when you say, all right, we're not missing this one. Many schools will cancel the day before.
Sure.
It's the one where you're looking at the radar, and up in Newburyport you're going to get like 4 to 8 inches. But I live in Salem, where I grew up, and it's all rain, and then you're watching is the rain line, snow line. So basically, I'll talk to DPW and our facilities director, James McSweeney, like probably around 10 or 11, that last forecast. And
10 p.m. and so
Yeah.
that's kind of when you're starting.
say,
You're gonna
"Hey,
make
guys,
a move.
We
Okay.
gotta. What are we looking at? What
Yeah.
are you hearing?" And then I usually wake up around 3 in the morning. Then we check back in at 4 in the morning.
Because you can still make a call at 4 a.m.
Yeah. So usually I try to get the call out by 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Before the buses and before people start tracking to Newburyport.
Would you rather do it earlier?
If it makes it I would if we could call it the night before,
Yeah.
where we have
That's why the blizzard's easier.
It's easier for families
Yeah.
to get childcare and things like that.
But when it's dicey, you have to wait.
you gotta wait, you have to wait, and then typically I'll be up at 3 talking to the guys at 4 in the morning. They're all looking at the roads. We're still watching the weather. And then we usually make a decision around 5:30, and then we're also on the phone with some other area superintendents and seeing what kind of what they're doing.
Are
So
you
it's-
going with this? What are you doing? You're doing this? What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. What are you hearing? And it's because we're on the coast. It's I've been for some of the schools, like even over here closer to the coast, it's like sometimes less snow, and then you go like 2 miles in, and they got like 4 inches where it's 2 inches over here, and
Yeah.
so it gets a little dicey. But yeah, so those nights I'm not sleeping much at all.
I imagine.
Because you start at 3 in the morning, and
So it's true. This is a tough thing.
well, it's tough to make the right call. And the kids call me because I typically don't just jump on the bandwagon and cancel.
Yeah.
So I guess my reputation among the kids is they call me the snow miser, where I don't cancel or I do the delay.
I'm going to remember that.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Snow miser, you know. And
When they call you, like in fun, like, do they actually call your office line and say, like, what? Leave a message? What do you mean?
No. Like well, some of the kids they're great. You know, we talk about student voice and we encourage that. So sometimes I'll get emails and they're utilizing their student voice and they'll be like, Mr. Gallagher, I really believe we should cancel school because of X, Y, Z. And high school kids will utilize, you know,
Sure.
coming up that hill, Mr. Gallagher, it's very slippery and dangerous.
Oh my goodness, the downfalls of letting them at the table, right?
That's right. But I love it, you know, and
Yeah.
and then sometimes when we do make the right call and it wasn't a lot of snow and we're here, so I just you know, I'll email some of those students back and say, hey, you know, in
Yeah.
June when you guys are out earlier than these other schools, you know, please send me a thank you.
Oh, that's a very sweet response. Yes, that's well thought out. The snow miser, I love it.
miser, yeah.
Have you made a like that you will admittedly say, "Yep, we got that one wrong"? Have you had at least one of those?
So it was. I think it might have been last year or the year before where we were looking at. A lot of the districts would come out at noontime and canceling because
Yeah.
it was the forecast was, I want to say like it was like 8 to 12, you know, no questions. And I was holding on, and I had a meeting at 5, and then I think every district on the North Shore pretty much canceled the night, and we were the last ones.
Yeah.
So some people came to say, hey, you just gotta, I mean, everyone's canceling, you know. I was like, well, I think we should wait. And they're like, no. And so before that meeting at 5, you know, I went along and I canceled. So then I had my meeting from like 5 to 7. I drove home and I'm watching at 10 o'clock. And I see that, you know, you usually see the white snow, and then all of a sudden I see this like a little blue, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, you know, we're still going to be getting a significant amount, but it might not be as much as 12 inches. And then all of a sudden that snow line turned all rain.
Yeah.
And then there was no snow.
Meteorologists think they have it tough in this city, in this region. My goodness, this might be the toughest job when it comes to New England weather. The superintendent having to make the school calls.
That's right.
My goodness.
Yeah, we might have to hire a meteorologist part of the staff.
You don't have any cell phones, huh? No meteorologist cell phones?
That's right.
I can help you out with that. We'll get you a few. You can be calling some of these guys directly.
All right. The inside track.
Well, that's interesting. So the snow miser superintendent, Sean Gallagher, that's a hurt to your reputation when you gave the kids that day off. That's too funny. I'm glad we went down that road.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Thoughts of just a final minute or two here with Sean Gallagher, Newburyport superintendent. I know we've kind of got our feet running with the school year, but expectations or whatever you want to say for
I just want to say there's been a couple initiatives that we've had. NEF, we're building, should be ready, a new media lab, state of the art,
Nice.
all donated by the NEF, our Ed Foundation. And we're really looking at developing a media productions and broadcasting pathway for our
look at that.
students. And then the other big thing that we have this year is we opened up a daycare for our faculty and support staff. So we modeled it after Ipswich. They've had their daycare program for their teachers for the past like 20 years. And through our negotiations, this was kind of a big topic on daycare and the costs. So Pam Cayley, our HR director, and Jim McSweeney, facilities, we put this plan in last year to see if we could actually do this. And it's self-sustaining, and we actually opened up a daycare this year out of the Bresnahan, which ties right into our preschool. And what's also really nice about it is we're going to develop an early childhood pathway for our students that will actually be able to work in the daycare to get certified down the road.
Wow.
So,
That's crazy, huh?
Two big initiatives that we're really proud of this year that I really wanted to mention.
Two big real-life initiatives there,
Exactly,
too, right?
tied right to the college and career readiness pathways that we're developing.
Which is a big focus there in Newburyport,
Exactly.
clearly. Outstanding. Sean Gallagher, always a pleasure to talk to you, my man.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in. I know you're always busy. I guess I got to you before the snowstorm. So
That's
there you go.
right.
We'll have you back on in the winter, though.
I love it. Yeah.
Enjoy calling the football game Friday
Thank you
night.
so
Sean
much.
Gallagher on these airwaves here, 96.3 FM, p.m., and he'll be calling it for the cable TV, too. So Newburyport football with the voice of Sean Gallagher Friday night. It'll be great. Thank you to Maid Power producing the show, Ryan Rothberg, and our boss, Sarah Hayden, our small but mighty team here in Newburyport. We appreciate you so very much. Thanks for listening. If you're driving around in the sunshine out there, enjoy it. There's a little bit of traffic. I don't know. It's always busy out there, but, drive responsibly. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you taking this in. Live at Drew's house. Joppa Afternoon Drive. Until next time, everybody, we'll see you.